Students, again you are most welcome to online English class for class 11 intermediate first year. Today we are going to talk about the non-finite verbs from your English grammar. So what is a non-finite verb? It is said non-finite verbs are special forms of verbs used mainly as noun and adjectives. They are of course verbs, but these verbs are not used as verb at all. They are used as noun or as an adjective. There are some examples. We do not like to sleep at noon. We do not like what? To sleep. Sleep is a verb, but when it is represented by to, it becomes an infinitive, and this infinitive is used as a noun, as the object of the verb like. So it is verb, but here it is being used as a noun. A rolling stone gathers no moss. Stone, but what kind of a stone? Rolling. A stone that is rolling. So here rolling is used as an adjective of the noun stone. We should not eat rotten fish. Fish, but what kind of fish? Rotten. It is an adjective. Past participle forms are used as adjectives. They are past participle. Having done my work, I went to sleep. Having done, it means the condition of my work. How is my work now? It is done. Having done my work, I went to sleep. So non-finite verbs are of three types we know: infinitive, participle, gerund. So now we are going to talk about mainly about infinitive. Infinitive means to plus base form of verb. If to is represented by the base form of a verb, it is an infinitive. To go, to play, to sleep. To usually takes the base forms. And what is an infinitive phrase? If an infinitive takes an object, a noun or a noun phrase, it is an infinitive phrase. To tell, it is an infinitive. And here, to tell a lie is an infinitive phrase, because a lie is a noun phrase, and it is used as the object of the verb tell. So infinitives or infinitive phrases are used as the subject of a verb, object of a verb, complement of a verb, to mean a purpose, to mean outcome of something. To speak the truth is a great virtue. What is a great virtue? To speak the truth. It is an infinitive phrase, but here it is used as the subject of the verb is. So it is a noun phrase too. We began to weep. We began what? To weep. Here to weep is used as the object of the verb began. My aim is to become a doctor. My aim is. Here there is an infinitive phrase. What is your aim? To become a lawyer. So to become a lawyer is being used as a complement of the noun my aim. I went out to meet my uncle. I went out. Why? To meet my uncle. It means the purpose of the verb going out. He is happy to see you. He is happy. Why? To see you. Here to see you means the outcome of the verb is. Infinitive phrases are also used as modifiers. So an infinitive or an infinitive phrase may modify a noun or an adjective, or it may even modify a verb. His wish to be a poet is very strong. His wish is very strong. But what is his wish? To be a poet. So to be a poet is an infinitive phrase, and it modifies, it adds extra meaning to the noun phrase his wish. He is ready to leave the house. He is ready. But for what? To leave the house. This infinitive phrase is modifying the adjective ready. He came to see you. Here the infinitive phrase is to see you, and it means the purpose of the verb come. Participles are special forms of verbs used as adjectives. participles are used as adjectives. There are three types of participles: present participle, past participle, perfect participle. Present participles are really ing form of the verbs, and these forms are used as adjective. Past participles are past participle forms of verbs, and perfect participles means having plus past participle form of verbs. Present participle, they are used to form progressive tenses, continuous tenses. She is riding a motorbike. It is a present continuous tense, and is riding, subject plus am is are plus ing form of the verb riding. As an adjective, I got on a running bus, but what was the condition of it? It was running. So present participle is used as an adjective. To post modify a noun. The man waiting there is my neighbor. So waiting there, this present participle phrase is modifying the noun, the man. To mean a completed action, seeing a bus coming to us, we remained standing there. We remained standing there, but there was a completed action. We saw a bird coming towards us. So seeing a bus is a present participle phrase. To indicate a repeated gesture, she went away, but how? Weeping. She was weeping and she was going away. So weeping means a repeated action. There are see here some verbs of perception: watch, notice, observe. Then if there is any noun or noun phrase, we may use a present participle phrase. I found a man dodging under a tree. I found a man, but what was he doing? He was dodging under a tree. So his dodging was continuing. Past participles are really past participle form of verbs. To form perfect tenses, we use past participle forms: present perfect, past perfect, future perfect. Today he has watched a film. He, subject, then has, have, has, then past participle form. It is the present perfect tense. As an adjective, we may use past participles. I do not expect to regain my stolen money. Stolen, steal, stole, stolen, and here the word stolen is used as an adjective of money. To form passive forms, she is accompanied by her mother. Be accompanied, passive voice. All the verbs, main verbs, the passive voice are in passive forms. Now perfect participles. Perfect participles are really past participles represented by having, having plus past participle. Having done, having gone, having slept. Having failed twice, he did not want to try again. He failed twice and then he did not want to try again. So the difference between present participle and perfect participle. Reading the instructions, he hid the papers. He read the instructions, then he hid the papers. But if we use present participle here, it means they are simultaneous. There is no time gap really between the two activities. But having read the instructions, perfect participle, having read the instructions, he hid the papers. If we use perfect participle here, it means there is an interval of time, or there may be an interval of time between the two actions. So dear students, that was all for you. We have talked about infinitive and we have talked about participle. In our next class, we will talk about three things: gerund, verbal nouns and other things. So be prepared for your next class. Listen to my lecture well, watch the video again and again, and that was all for you.